everyone. This is Mondays with Marian. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today is investing in yourself. And from my personal experience and from what I've read in plenty of books and listened to podcasts, that's really the best thing you can do. Investing in yourself, in your knowledge, that whole cliche, knowledge is power, it's so true. Because when I started investing in myself, and you don't have to even spend a lot of money. You know, when I first started investing in myself, I really wanted to learn a lot of things that I thought I was lacking, or I didn't have any experience in, or I didn't know about. And I read a lot. I don't really watch TV, and so I invested a lot of time in reading books, magazines. I actually buy a lot of books and I enjoy reading. But if you don't have the funds, the internet is free. There are so many articles, so much free content out there. And one of my favorite things is listening to podcasts. And podcasts has literally changed my life. It's given me access to some huge entrepreneurs, to some movers and shakers, to people that I wouldn't get a chance to really listen to or interview if, I had to pay for a seminar or things like that. And it's a great way to really invest and dive into learning. And it's the best investment you can ever do. So when I first started, I was broke, but internet is free, like I said. And so I read as much as I could online. For example, I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins. Thankfully, last year, I got to go to Date with Destiny. And that was a huge investment for me. But I knew that I would always learn something, and I did. 5-6 days that I spent there was just phenomenal. It was an amazing experience, and I would do it all over again. But it was a big chunk of money. But before I had the funds to invest in something like that, in a live event, I was already reading his books. I was already listening and looking at videos that he posted online for free. You can get a lot of content. And so the same thing with podcasts. There are so many amazing speakers and entrepreneurs like Tim Ferriss, Andy Frisella, Jordan Harbinger, Lewis Howes, the School of Greatness, all free content. And they interview the greats, people that I would just dream to be in front of, and they get to interview. And this is free stuff that you listen to. So instead of listening to music, when I work out or when I'm in the car, I listen to podcasts. Or you could do audiobooks. That's a really, really great way to invest in yourself and learn something. Admittingly, I was horrible with my finances because I was scared of it. No one taught me. My parents didn't teach me. I was horrible at it. And through a series of a lot of debt that I finally paid off and just making mistakes, I told myself, I can't be scared anymore. I need to invest in myself and learn how to manage my money better. And so I bought books, I listened to podcasts about money and finances, looked at videos online, TED Talks, and I started really investing in myself and my knowledge, and now I feel a lot more comfortable and I've made better decisions. Whatever it is that you want to learn or people you want to learn from, with the internet, everything is free out there. There's so much amazing content and people that you can learn from. So invest in yourself. It's the best investment that you will ever make. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mondays with Marian. Hopefully the topic resonated with you, got a little pieces of information that were useful. What I like to do is when I listen to a lot of things, when I read, when I listen to podcasts, when I listen to videos, or when I watch videos, when I get all that information, I sift through it and I see what applies to me. Because not everything applies to me, and not everything someone says resonates with me at that moment. Some days, I want to hear an inspirational message from this author, or I want to read something from this author. I want to listen to this podcaster. It really depends on what I'm feeling that day and what I'm going through. But hopefully something in this resonated with you. Please feel free to send me an email if you have any questions or comments at mondayswithmarian@gmail.com. Or you can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Feel free to ask me questions, send comments. Love your feedback. I read every single one. So thank you. Until next time. Bye.